welcome to this 2020 Fiat 500. This is the hybrid version. I'll talk about that in a bit. It's not really a hybrid, but yeah. So Fiat 500 was introduced in 2007. It's basically a Fiat Panda underneath. So if you're in the market for something retro, there's not much options. Yes, it's not class leading in comparison with the Hyundai i10 in terms of specs and everything. It's actually a lot better. But in terms of appearance, this car is not really, there's not much competition out there. Yes, there's Mini, but it's not really in the same price range. It's not in the same category. It's a lot bigger, and yeah, it's not, I wouldn't compare it to that car. So this is basically a launch spec, so it comes with a lot of good standard equipment, which is, I wouldn't recommend any other spec. The launch is actually a really good spec. It comes with parking sensors and nice interior, alloy wheels, 15-inch alloy wheels, and feel like the grills and things like that is more difference. But yeah, I would definitely recommend a launch spec. So this particular model is a hybrid, as they call it, which I wouldn't really call it a hybrid. In DVLA, it's registered as a petrol car. So yeah, it's basically a very small electric motor with a very small battery, lithium battery, and it doesn't have any range or anything, but it's supposed to just give you a little boost, and you know, it's supposed to better the MPG, and I'm getting around 35, and they claim to have 53, which is way off. I'm sure you can get that in countryside roads, but definitely not in city. From my experience anyway, I don't get that. My trip, I've driven about 215 miles in city and averaging about 35 miles per gallon, so it's way off the actual figures they say. So yeah, this car has a 69 bhp, 68 torque. I wouldn't say it's very powerful, but I think it's plentiful. I think it's enough for a city car. If you are into performance-based cars, I would go for about 500. Yeah, so I would say it's, in terms of power-wise, it's fine. It does good. It got 6 gears, which helps out to kind of keep the noise down. I mean, if you're in the motorway, it's a 3-cylinder engine. You can't expect too much from the car, but at least the extra gear will kind of keep it in lower revs, so less screaming from the 3-cylinder engine. So yeah, the gear is very smooth. The main attraction about this car is basically that's the way it looks, and I really love the way it looks. It's very retro. I think it will age really well. I particularly like the facelift models, so from 2016. So it comes with like small changes like LED lights and grille change and stuff like that. It also comes with a little display. One of the negatives about the display is that it's angled a bit high, which I don't really like. So other than that, but it actually does everything that you need. It doesn't have a navigation, but you know, you can option it with Auto CarPlay and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Sorry. Yeah, so it's quite nice. You can option it with digital display, driver's display too, but to be fair, I don't really think you need to. It's quite good the way it is. It's standard equipment. It's with the normal display, like this black and white orangey thing. Yeah, it's like orange colors, but yeah, it's alright. It doesn't really bother me. The negatives about this car, I would say, is the space for the passengers in the back. Is not that great. It's very small in the back. If you are if you are regularly carrying passengers in the back, I would go for something like a Hyundai i10. And also it comes with 2 extra doors, but this spec doesn't. Yeah, they have Fiat 500X and Fiat 500L, but that's completely different cars. They're very big. But yeah, so if you are not really carrying passengers all the time in the back, it's fine. Then this is perfect. I would definitely recommend this car to someone. Another thing is, it can be a positive or negative depending on what the driver wants. You sit really high, which is nice for a new driver because you can see it's easy to park and everything. This launch model comes with the parking sensors, so you sit very high, so it's quite nice to see all around. It also comes with like a panoramic roof. You can't really open it, but it just got this kind of shade. You can open that and try it. So yeah, it gives you that airy feel. It's a bit like the Smart. They really do feel like the Smart. So yeah, that's the only thing. If you're really in carrying passengers in the back, that's the only disadvantage, I would say. And the MPG is 35 miles per gallon. That's quite low for a city car. That's another thing I would say that's quite bad. I would really like a armrest, because I always end up just kind of putting my hand on the gear or on my leg, like just like that, you know, when you're cruising or just driving motorway. But that's something, it's a habit, it's a drive, you know, that's the habit I've got, so that's just something personal. Also, there is no steering, it's not much steering adjustment, so you can just put it up and down but not kind of make it reach you, so you can't pull it too much. Well, you can't pull it at all. That's another negative, I would say. So, but to be fair, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's sit quite high. It's alright, it's decent. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I would definitely recommend to kind of sit in the car, get the feel of it, drive it for around half an hour, get the feel of it. So yeah, you sit very high. I don't particularly like it, but I know new drivers will. But yeah, you sit quite high. Other than that, it's actually quite a good car. Yeah, definitely recommend it to someone.